hoping like, yo, just if Nas could just be Nas, then we're gonna get a great song. And I feel like we got that. I feel like we got that. The sound, I don't know what I was expecting before, but the sound caught me a little off guard when I first heard it.
Mhm.
Like I felt like I didn't see that beat coming. I didn't think it was gonna be as mellow. I kind of thought Ultra Black was gonna have a more aggressive tone, but I actually liked that. It was kind of a song that you would two-step to with a drink in your hand. You know, it was like some grown folks bop to it. Like I really liked it.
I literally try to picture you doing that. That was hilarious.
Well, I
for many reasons of why that would not be, but yes.
Yeah.
We've talked about some. Yeah.
Nor am I that much of a dancer.
Yeah.
But to me, it's a very good song. There are some track lists being floated around in the ether, which I think we can talk about as well. I don't know if any of those are real.
I think they're not.
Yeah, I don't know. They seem plausible, but they also seem like, oh, I could picture Nas with this person. I think you brought this up when we talked about it the other day. Like, oh, I could picture Nas with this person, so we're just going to put it here. The song titles even sound like things that you would put in a Nas record, so it's really elaborate. If they are, Nas and Anderson pack has to happen. So if they are, I hope that is the case. But, really good song. The Doja Cat line, I don't even think it was as malicious as people are making it out to be, but who cares? Fuck Doja Cat and her fan base. Who cares?
The line, for people who don't know, is unapologetically black. Let me pull up this line because I forgot exactly what he said, but he's basically saying he's the opposite of Doja Cat, who's had a lot of problematic things.
That's the other thing.
Regarding black being anti-black.
That's the other thing. I was like, her fan base is like vehemently defending her, and people are saying, "Oh, it's whack that Nas would go after a young woman or whatever the case may be," and it's like, do we not know about her history? Like, do we not, know about how she got problematic to begin with in the first place? Like, who cares, man? And then people were pulling up numbers like, oh, Nas is sick because he has 26 million less monthly listeners than Doja Cat does. How about listeners over the course of an entire career? Like, what do you mean?
Numbers is just a weak argument, and the line is, "We going ultra black, unapologetically black, the opposite of Doja Cat." Listen,
it's apologetic. About
unapologetically black, which is what this song is. Look, I think people get way too sensitive about anytime somebody mentions everybody's name, and it's not a diss. Nas names plenty of other names in this. He's just saying he is not going to make excuses for blackness or be anti-black, which Doja Cat has done at times, and coming at the hairstyles of black women and other things like that. So she is half black, but hasn't sort of presumed to embrace that all the way. And so there is a lot of anti-blackness going on. And so I think that's a lot of why this song is being made. I don't think it's necessarily a diss. It's just pointing out to something that's, it is what it is. It's like if somebody says today, 45 is a racist. Like, yo, we know this. That's not a diss. That's just me being like, we know this.
Ether is a diss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
don't body yourself as a diss.
People are so hungry for like disses sometimes in hip hop where it's like, yo, y'all reaching, man. Like, y'all doing a little too much. Like, just calm down. Like, ain't nobody trying to hear no Nas and Doja Cat battle, and not because, nobody's trying to hear that. Nobody asked for that. I don't even know why I was gonna try to explain that. Like, nobody asked for that, right? Like, nobody said that they wanted this, and you know who knows they don't want it? Doja Cat. You know what I'm saying? She knows this. So, come on, what are we talking about?
It's a very good record. I'm glad it came out. It also caught me off guard, like that being the first single. I'm curious to see where it'll now is the test, right? Like, where is it going to be sequenced in the album is what I want to see. Because I remember Life is Good is, of my lifetime, the Nas album I anticipated the most because I was coming off the Khalid's divorce and all the stuff that happened there between those two. And I was old enough to where I felt like I had a good enough ear to expect certain things. Nasty had come out the year before, but we didn't really know like it was going to be on the album.
Yeah, it was just Lucy, yeah.
So Lucy that came out, fire record. And I think the first like real single was The Don.
It was.
I think it was The Don. And when I heard that, saw the video, saw that it was produced by Heavy D, who had just recently passed at the time. I was like, "Yo, son, like this album's gonna be crazy," and it was. It's to me Nas' second best album.
I was just listening to it the other day, and it's sonically, I love the sound of that album a lot. Very cohesive in terms of sound. The producers, Nas workers. So Brian and I spoke about this the other day about rappers who lock in with one producer, and we probably will see this on this album. At least it appears so with him and just Hit Boy. So I'm intrigued with that. The name of this album, King's Disease, has me very intrigued in terms of, is Nas going to be talking about greed, maybe the desire for more that we see, especially around capitalism and everything that's going on in this country with health. I wonder what the focus is going to be in this album, because I think when Nas gets focused on a concept and really good, as we saw with Life is Good, the celebration of life, even though there were things that had recently gone on in his life that made it challenging, there was this kind of message throughout the album of that, there's things you can enjoy and things that he was taking time to enjoy. So it's really good. I expect him to talk a lot about it. I think when Nas is on the theme and inspired and really works with a producer that's trying to get that theme out of him, because we saw him just work with another producer, and I'm not sure he really got the best out of Nas. I think this can work. So I'm really excited to see about the subject matter and theme, and if he locks in. And I said this to Brian, and I mean it's not to make a Jay Nas comparison, but I want to see if this is sort of at this stage of where he is in his life, in his early 40s, as a sort of his 444, and looking and more not impersonal, but looking at the world. I think Life is Good was that in a way for him.
Yeah.
But that was 8 years ago, and he still was in his mid 30s, and so I think this time in his 40s and where he's looking at the world and what's going on is going to be very interesting. Look, man, I'm just excited to hear some rapping.
I want him to talk a little shit also. I also want him to remind some people, because, I mean, look, getting Hit Boy is strategic to me. So also, because if you're getting Nas and DJ Premier, which I think we need to get at some point, you're also targeting a very specific audience, right? You're targeting the hip-hop heads, the day ones, the people who have been there since the beginning. I think in getting Hit Boy and aligning with him, you're not just getting a great producer, but you're also targeting a specific sound. I think Nas is maybe trying to skew younger, not younger as in the kids and try to get them to dance or whatever, but I think he's trying to get to the young adults as well. You know what I mean? Who are really experiencing through all this in real time.
Well, I think
Ultra Black kind of gives me that vibe a little
bit. But I think the thing about that is, like, when you listen to Ultra Black, like, the production is just enough that I feel like it bridges the gap, no pun intended, in all those different demographics. Like, it doesn't sound like, and it's not the single I would have expected. You kind of hit on that beat. It's not the single I would have expected him to come out with out the gate. It's not your typical single. It's extremely pro-black, which works at this time in that we're in. But I think him coming out with that as single, in the way it sounds, Ultra Black in a way sounds like it could be like an extension into sort of Life is Good if you really think about it sonically, in terms of that. And it still has, like, it's not like multi-layered. It wasn't trap style, but like it's fun and light and it knocks. And
well, Nas only needs like 2 instruments. Like he's demonstrated that throughout the course of his career.
Oh yeah. Sometimes less is more for him in the production.
That's the thing. People kill him for like his beat selection. I think mostly unfairly, because there's been a ton of classic beats that he's rapped over, and not just on Illmatic, because people will say, "Oh, they're all on this first album."
That's not true.
Made You Look and All of Life is Good didn't happen. Those are incredible, like, production for the most part. But he's not somebody who needs the greatest beat in the world for a song to stand out. He is somebody who really just needs a couple of different instruments. You just loop it over the course of however long, and he's going to give it to you.